Hi, I'm Trainin, a professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
And I'm Kimberly Ingraham-Beck from Gretna Public Schools.
And this is CS4NE, and today we have a wonderful interview with Adam. Tell us a little bit about Adam.
Yeah, so Adam actually teaches with me for Gretna Public Schools, and he started as a middle school art teacher and then came over to high school computer science just a couple years ago. So he's going to talk to us about being a transplant teacher.
And what I love about this is that as we look at the landscape in Nebraska, where we're having more and more people teach computer science, what I'm seeing is that there are lots of avenues. So we've got some music teachers, we've got some art teachers, we've got math teachers, we've got business teachers, we've got language arts teachers, social studies. It's a really interesting mix. So if you are interested in teaching computer science and you're not doing that formally, you can actually get certified very, very quickly and very, very efficiently at any of the University of Nebraska campuses and a few others as well. So if you're interested, call us.
Join us.
All right, so let's go to the interview.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us who you are and about your teaching experience.
I'm Adam Schwaninger, and I've been a teacher for 17 years. I'm currently teaching high school computer science at Gretna High School. Started my career in Lincoln Public Schools and taught middle school art and a little bit of computers for 14 years there.
At what point did you realize you wanted to make the transition into computer science?
When computer classes were transitioning from learning about applications to learning about coding, the computer science department actually asked me to pilot the coding program for my middle school. And so I was still teaching art most of the time, but got to teach a little bit of computer science and pilot that for the district, and really enjoyed learning about that myself and helping kids learn about coding.
Awesome. How did your background in art influence the way you approach teaching computer science?
When teaching art, a lot of times, or almost all the time, we encourage students to be creative, to look for new ways to solve problems, and kind of emphasize the fact that there is more than one way to solve a problem. And I like bringing that into computer science and highlighting ways that you can be creative with code, even though there's a lot of math and it is a linear language. There are so many ways that students can be creative and use problem-solving techniques to get to the same answer or even a different answer when solving a problem.
Absolutely, yeah. So what is the steepest learning curve that you faced when switching subject areas?
I think just the content, learning new content, learning coding languages was the most, good teaching is good teaching no matter what you're teaching. But when you have to learn a new content area, there's always all of those little pieces that go into not only understanding it, but mastering it and being able to teach it. So taking courses and just spending time on my own, working through the curriculum was probably the biggest obstacle to overcome.
All right. What support structures, trainings, or communities made the biggest difference for you during your transition?
I really enjoyed my classes in my cohort at UNL. I was able to collaborate with those students and instructors during class, but also after class. And then just the technology department at Gretna has been great, able to help me out with curriculum and understanding content and just deploying that in my classroom.
That's awesome. Yeah, great to hear. Any advice for people who are making the transition?
I think when you're transitioning curriculum, you can always play to your strengths no matter what you taught prior. Things that worked in your band classroom or your math classroom are going to work in your computer science classroom. Another piece of advice is, even though it's a computer class, getting kids off their computers and using manipulatives or paper or get up and move activities are just as important in a computer classroom as any other.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
So as I was listening to the interview, what I loved is how Adam is thinking about computer science differently. And I think that comes from his art background, right?
Absolutely.
So he's thinking about it. Doesn't have to be as linear. Most of the math teachers I know, it's always linear. Maybe because they love linear algebra, I'm not sure. But it's always linear. But actually, he's thinking about it in really interesting ways. And I think that's highly relevant because it appeals, again, to kids in a different way, but it also is really appealing to me as I think about AI. So what about you? What did you like about it?
I just really like finding a community. We're all around, and just whatever avenue you can, find a community and ask for help or just reach out, commiserate, whatever it may be.
Yes, and the universities around the state have had multiple projects like the one Adam was on. And so there are lots of ways to connect and create that community, whether it's through CSTA or through NIDA and that group, or just through a project, finding people that are growing with you. Absolutely. And that maybe are a little bit ahead of you and can give you advice, or maybe you're just learning together is really, really useful. All right, we'll see you next time.